leftover breakfast. There you go, girlies. Welcome, friends, to the Yoder Homestead. I'm going to show you guys what the garden's looking like. We are in September, end of September. It's going to be October next week. Apologize for my voice. I did have a cold catch me, so I'm just going to walk through and show you guys what it's looking like and some of the things that I'm starting to prepare for fall, winter. We have our cat hiding right there. Again, her home is now the garden. The roses have come back really well. They are blooming. Some of them are blooming. Still not sure about this guy right here. Along the whole side here is all perennials up through. And then the back part here, we're still working on adding more perennials. So like cutting this back, cutting the Russian sage back, echinacea, and then like we're gonna trim our boxwoods. Maybe I might leave those until spring since they've been doing so good and they're really, really healthy. But down the way you can see there's a hibiscus there, but all of the zinnias, like here are beans. So I'm gonna jump into some of the seed saving stuff then for you guys. Basically what I do for winter, a lot of the stuff I let sit until it is completely in dried. So like all of this stuff in probably, well, like once the frost comes, it will all be brown and have died. But basically what I'm looking for, there's bees everywhere, bees everywhere. So like zinnias, like here you can see, once this guy dies back like this, there you have zinnia seeds. It's still connected to the petals, but those, you know, front little edges are all seeds. That's what you're going to be looking for if you're going to want to save seeds. Celosia is super easy. As soon as it starts drying, you can shake them basically, and black seeds will come out of these, like all these little holes right here. So those are super easy. Zinnias, I feel like, are super easy. You're just looking for really dry heads like this, and then you just pull those out. I like sprinkling some of these in. I have watched a video of somebody doing, you know, seeds while they're still green, but I've never done that. I feel like you're gonna need to let them dry completely. If you do it this method, you know, maybe it's because you can see the color and then you can label them that way, but I've never done it that way, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say yes, that's a great way, but yeah, so seed saving for zinnias is super easy. Like here's another example, and then you just pull those out and those are your seeds. The very tips, that is all seed. So yeah, you just want to wait until all the zinnias dry back. You can try, I mean, I would do some more research on pulling those seeds out while the zinnia is still in color and not dried out like that. I think you're probably going to have to end up drying the seed. That is all zinnias, you know, all down through here. I have a lot of the floret varieties I want to save from. And then these are just seeds that I've like collected over the years. So I'm going to save a bunch. I have a bunch of volunteers I want to collect from. And then strawberries, probably just trim some of them back. We do have a bunch of runners, so if you can go through and start a bunch of runners off that, but like this bed as well. And then the roses, I'll just let them go and make rose hips. And then in the spring, we'll cut them back. We have a bunch more zinnias that are volunteer. These roses smell amazing right now. The sun is like perfuming the air. Fantastic. Huge sunflower heads. I want to at least take one off and save seeds, but if you can look up in there, they're just filled with seeds. I did take like one out of here, but basically all of that is seed. The birds have been snacking for sure on a bunch of this stuff, but yeah, sunflowers are super easy. You can take seed out that way, and then you just want to make sure it's dry. Label your varieties, take pictures, put the pictures in your seed packet, stuff like that to, you know, keep your stuff separate if you're wanting to keep it separate. If not, then you just go for it. Just go for it. And then like nasturtium, here is a good example. these will dry out and actually turn into seed. So you let those dry completely, you'll have new seed for nasturtium. What I've been doing is just taking pictures of what the flowers look like for everything that I'm saving seed from. And then that is going to go into my like seed packets with the seed. Basil is similar. So all of this is going to dry back and then turn into seed as well. What is another thing? Oh, cosmos. These are super simple as well. This might not actually have any dry yet. But basically what happens, no, I do have a good example. I will come back and show you guys how to save seeds off of cosmos. But these are some of my favorite flowers. I love how wispy they are. When the wind blows, they just kind of dance. And I had a bunch of varieties that just came up by themselves, so I want to save seeds off that. I have no idea if this will actually do anything yet, but these are artichokes. I tried them for the first time and we'll see how they do. But I have some mini zinnias. These are fun if you have like a border to put them in. They're not really great for cut flowers in my opinion, but bunch of different zinnias to save seeds from. But the bees are still having heyday in the garden. And then so borage is another great pollinator, and like the honeybees, there's a honeybee right there. This is a great pollinator, and this like self-seeds itself, so if you can just let it be, it'll come back year after year. But if you want to save seeds off of it, these will dry, and then there's actually little brown seeds that will come inside these seed heads, so you can get them out that way. And then, well, green beans, super easy. You just let them get really big like this, let them dry out, and then save your seeds out of there. Super easy. I did have cucamelon, so these all self-seeded. This you'd actually have to cut open and get the seeds out of the inside since it's kind of like a melon, but these are fantastic. They taste like cucumbers. What else do we have? Yeah, so just green beans, same way. You're just gonna let them dry out, but these are coming to their end. We've canned quite a bit already, and they're still just loaded with huge beans. We've been giving chickens snacks all the time, and they're enjoying that. Maybe I have one here. Yes, perfect. Right here. So this Cosmo has actually dried out completely, and then it gets like the starburst shape. And then right there are all your Cosmo seeds, all those black ones. They're super easy to get, but you kind of have to do them before the wind blows really hard because they do come off pretty easily. Like these were all seeds, but they're gone already. So you kind of have to just be watching. I have a bunch of Cosmo seeds already, but like if you have a color that you really love, then definitely be watching for those. Okra is super easy too. You actually just take a big one like that off and let it dry, or you can let the plant dry them. Like down there is one that's completely dry. Focus, focus, there we go. That one, if you split it open, will have seeds inside. So let me see if I can grab one. There, okay. See if I can do this one-handed. All right, perfect. There you go. Those are all okra seeds inside, all perfectly dried. And yeah, you just store those, and then that is your seed for next year. So those are super simple and easy to get to. Tomatoes, I usually don't save seeds for my tomatoes. I just love buying tomato seeds, and so I haven't really done that. But they are all pretty much just ripening their last tomatoes, and then we're going to start tearing the plants out. For these, I actually cut off the bottom and leave the roots in the ground, let those disintegrate over the winter time. But that is how I take tomatoes out. There are a bunch of them. The cherries have just outdone themselves, but a lot of them split when it rained like crazy this week. So they've turned into chicken snacks, which is okay. We've had a plentiful year of tomatoes. So yeah, like you can see, all the plants are just dying back. And You want to rip these out. I mean, I do before the frost because they get real squishy and gross. So yeah, tomatoes, I cut them off at the bottom and leave the roots in the ground, and then just pull all the plants off of the panels and stuff like that. But you can save tomato seeds, obviously. You just go in here, you wash them, and then you have to let them dry. All right. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That was a thorn. I'm barefoot, of course, in the garden, because why not? And then peppers, you can also save your own seeds out of peppers, obviously. If you cut them open, just save the seeds out of there. I had a lot of fun varieties of peppers this year. They did actually really, really well. I was super impressed. We have some more still on here that we can go ahead and harvest yet, but these will all die in the frost. So kind of just be mindful with your frost date coming. Ours is usually like, I would say middle October. It can come earlier. The garden here is actually set down lower, so this unfortunately will be the first to be hit. If you have a higher spot to put your garden in, that's kind of ideal, but I don't really. So I'm dealing with a lot of slope and a lot of hillside, and so this was the space that made the most sense to put the garden in, so it is what it is. This is Nicotiana. It's called flowering tobacco. It's just a pretty flower. Has an amazing scent at night as the sun goes down. But these will self-seed themselves too if you let them kind of do their thing. I actually tore all of mine out because it was taking over this bed. And so I didn't even think I would have any this year, but I do. I'm gonna catch this butterfly. Awesome. But yeah, I have so many different fun zinnias that I want to save seed off of. So that's gonna be a project of mine for the fall as the plants start dying back, is saving seeds. So what else do we have? So yeah, I've just been like starting to clear out spaces, and if you can put like something in over the winter, that's kind of ideal. I did have this whole bed up here that we did carrots in. Ooh, here's maybe another example of a Cosmo. Yeah, so right here, this all dried, and you can just like peel them and all of the seed will come out. But what you're looking for are those like black ones. All the white stuff is just like chaff or fluff or whatever. So like here, these are all dry and dying back, but a lot of them have lost their seed, which is fine with me as long as I get some of them, because I know they'll self-seed themselves. But if you want like a specific color planted somewhere, you definitely have to save the seed. I mean, you don't have to. You can buy more, but if you want to do it cheaper the next year, I would definitely recommend saving seed. But anyways, these carrots I'm going to leave in through the frost because I'm not going to use all of them, and they store really well on the ground. So I'm just going to do that. Let's see here. I had more dill come up, which is great. I'm actually going to save seed off of all of that as well. This plant still has seed on that I need to get off. But here you can tell that is all seed. All of the ends of there is all dill seed. This actually hangs on really, really well. So that one's really nice to collect seed from. But here you can tell too, some more seed that you can take off. But it's basically just the dill flowers. And then as they age, they'll go into the brown seeds. Calendula, this one's super easy. The flowers die back to this. And then all of these little hook looking things are seeds. They produce so much. Like, there should never be a reason that you have to buy calendula seeds after you have the flowers. So, just saying. So yeah, we'll just start working on like cleaning some of this stuff out, but the carrots are doing absolutely amazing. I think I give it a lot of credit to the soil that we added to this. I do have to keep thinning them out as they're getting bigger. I'm just leaving like the ones that are starting to look really, really developed, like this right here will probably be a good carrot, and let them do their thing. Then we have a whole row of peas that are actually getting close to being ready. Yeah, so that's basically that entire garden, and just me saving seeds out of everything that I can, and then labeling it, organizing it. This one, I have a bunch of sunflowers that I'm gonna go through and save seed from. Basically what I did is I just called them, like this row is all yellow and the top row was all red. I'm not too picky about the specific colors and varieties. So then when I plant again, I just put all the red ones in a row and all the yellow ones in a row. Then I have seed. So this is Orlea. This is a fun one to add to bouquets. It ages to this like really pink, pretty color. So like you have the white, then it'll come into like a really pretty pink, and then it'll dry out and you can get seeds out of this too. And amaranth is the same way. It just dries out. You save seed from there. This is actually dianthus, so that's a perennial. So I'm just going to leave that one alone and let it do its thing. But dahlias, in our area, you actually have to dig them out if you want to save them. But I do have one up by the house, which I feel like it's just because it's up by the house. I did not ever dig that one out, and it still comes back every year. So I don't know. I think some of these I'll probably dig out because they are really, really pretty. Pretty pinks, and like this one ages from this really pretty red to a really pretty pink color. The salvia behind there is a perennial, so that'll stay and do its thing. And then I have straw flowers, which are fun. And coreopsis, I did that for the first time this year. I'm not sure I'm a fan for cut flowers, but they are a really pretty variety. This is basically, I would say, all annuals, other than like that salvia is a perennial. I'm not sure if this one is. Some salvias are, we'll see. And then I have pincushion flowers, like these, which you can save seed out of. So this right here is a seed head. And then these seeds are actually kind of cool. There. Those little white cone-shaped looking things are your seeds. So those are really fun to get. You just wait till they're dried out brown like that, and then you pull them out. I've actually never saved gomphrena seeds. I'm assuming they're back in the back here. Not 100% sure because I've never actually done it. So I'd have to look into that. But these are just fun to put in bouquets too. I do need to find some varieties that have taller stems, or maybe I need to stake them better. I don't know. This was called Love in a Mist, I think. But I think inside of here, I'm guessing, is where those seeds are going to be. I don't know. I've actually never saved seeds out of this one either. Yep, they're like floofy. There they are. Ta-da! All right. And we have more dahlias, and then those daisies. The like blue disc looking daisies. Really, really pretty. Definitely doing those again. Those are fun. Really pretty. Might replace them with the daisies over there because those have not done anything until now. These we just planted. We did like the second flush of sunflowers and zinnias, and look how pretty this variety is. Oh my goodness. Definitely saving seed from this one. I love the like second row of these like little petals around the middle. That is just so fun. And then we have a really pretty pink color, kind of a double as well. Really fun. Here's a good example. This is a annual in our area. Same with all the zinnias in here. Just getting ready to save seeds. And then clearing everything out. We still have jalapenos in here that I can probably do one more candied jalapeno recipe to can. This was just all seed that I saved from last year. So these are all just sprouts from all of those, which they're all like super bright varieties. So I don't know. We'll see if I save any of these. But I'm a pastel fan, but I know the butterflies and the bees love the bright colors. So maybe I'll save some. These are fun, especially for like a Bibiana. Let's go down here. So this whole row is ready to be cleaned out. Oh no. That is a weed, that fluffy stuff. Gotta get that out. Oh boy. Anyways, just cleaning it all out. I have one, I gotta show you this, one beautiful white Cosmo. Oh, yes, and it self-seeded itself. I did not plant this. So I definitely want to get a lot of seed off of this one. They're just so perfect. And they're loaded. It's amazing. But the whole thing fell over and I just let it because I didn't want to like kill the plant. I want it to go to seed. So yeah, anyways, that's basically what the garden's looking like right now. I have a bunch of celosia and then all of that row up there as well, and cosmos that I need to save seed off of. And then basically time to just clean out all the things. It is kind of a mess, but that's okay. And then this whole row is just tomatoes. There are nasturtiums underneath, so I'll probably watch for some seed out of that, but that's basically it, is all of the fall. There are still a lot of things doing well, but we probably only have, 3 weeks left until our first frost. So it is what it is. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. I just want to take you through the garden and show you how to save some seeds that I have. In my garden, there are a bunch of plants that are super easy to save seed off of. Definitely try it. Don't shy away from it. It's super easy. You got to just try it, learn from it, and keep doing it over and over, and you'll learn a lot. You will. So anyways, I also wanted to show you guys, we had a beautiful, beautiful morning yesterday morning, and so I had Mike take the drone up, and so I'm going to end the video with you guys watching some really pretty drone footage of a foggy morning. Anyways, have a blessed day. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.